Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Road to Red Bull Wololo Legacy tournament. We've got Vortix versus beastyqt. The map is Kawasan, and spawning in the north corner of the map in red is beastyqt playing as the Chinese. And on the west corner of the map is Vortix playing in blue as the Mongols. This is actually a really weird spawn, guys, because both players are actually really, I mean, they're opposite each other. But I don't know, usually it's kind of north and south, east and west, but today we've got north and west. And I don't know how I feel about that. That's actually really awkward because often in Kawasan you've got the two ponds in the middle, and often you kind of guess which one pond is for who. You usually have one assigned to a person, but the map is different today. You're actually going to have most likely both players challenging for this western pond to start off with. This is a really weird spawn. I don't think I've seen this before. In any case, we do have Vortix in blue playing as the Mongols, and he's going to be getting that Aoe4 with the. Well, actually, he thought about it. He thought about getting a barracks, decided against it. Might be looking to dock instead, and that is indeed the case. With beastyqt playing in red as a Chinese. He's already got his dock almost up and running. Actually, it's already up and running. The village is built so fast for the Chinese, and the fishing ship does already pop out. We're going to be gathering that food super fast. And I think Vortix decided that it needs to go in the waters to be able to keep up here. And what will be interesting is seeing the fast castle times. Now, the Chinese, they're a very flexible civ, but that also does mean it's an interesting civ because we've got a wealth of opportunities here for beastyqt. He could think about Song Dynasty, he could think about 2TC Song Dynasty. For me personally, on a map like Kawasan, we've seen it before where players have done that. And it's incredibly greedy because there's often a lot of aggression, especially on waters. So to be able to challenge on the waters, you do need to get that castle age. You need that feudal age, that castle age time is super important. Because then you can get the attack arrow ships out in feudal age, and in the castle age, if you can get there first, you can often overwhelm your opponent on the ponds, especially if you know, as long as you've got a dock. What has to be said as well, the Barbican of the Sun could offer a measure of protection, especially if it's placed near the dock position. But often we do see the Barbican of the Sun being dropped in the middle because a lot of berries. This is often the focus of attack during the mid to late castle age. We shall see if this game gets that far. Now, one thing to talk about on the recent patch, we do have that gear for the Mongols spawning at the beginning of the game. That really does boost their feudal age time. It's a reduction in investment time for villagers to chop 50 wood, and also the building time for the gear. And it means that they can nicely transition to gold when they need to. The barracks does go down now, so he went up for the dock first, and now he's gone for the barracks, looking to put in that pressure. And as we say, the feudal age aggression is often very real for Kawasan. And will we see a barracks coming out for beastyqt? We do indeed. He's getting spearman on his own. And one thing that's very nice about the Chinese, they can supervise this barracks to produce those spearmen extra fast. Obviously, it does take further resources, but he's going to be supervising his wood villagers to be able to facilitate that. He's got his dock up and running faster, so the food income will be looking good. Keeping a scout here on hand, Vortix. Just keeping an eye on things. The two spearmen will be heading there first for Vortix. The spearman numbers in decent numbers. One thing that can be relatively pivotal is the Khan having the attack maneuver, or the maneuver arrow as well. That can really change the tide of fights, and we shall see if that happens. The two spearmen getting a couple of torches onto that dock, and I think Vortix smells blood here, setting another two spearmen. He can double produce using the Aoe4, getting good damage using the Khan on the spearman. There's that maneuver arrow. It means that if he does try and micro like this, he should be able to be chased down. A good engagement here for Vortix. You can see just a very key detail about micro here. When he engages, he actually pulls up the spearman that's being attacked. Vortix selects that and pulls that back so it doesn't get attacked more. And then when he does re-engage in the fight, often that low HP spearman won't be the focus of attack. So it survives longer. It means it gets more damage output. And we do see villagers being pulled here for Beastie, getting an outpost on that dock position. That will offer a very good measure of security. Spearman really starting to pump out here for Beastie. Can produce very quickly from the barracks. It does give you the question. Oh, it does snipe out that scout. Very nice. That vision will be a bit less, but it does have the Khan there anyway. What's super interesting is whether you would prefer having the Aoe4 and the double production versus having the ability to supervise. And personally, I feel like the supervision is great. Whilst you do get double the production for less resources, look at the numbers out. The numbers could come out so quickly for the Chinese. They can really spiral out of control. So we're going to try and chase down the Khan. Now in the Dark Age, the Khan can no longer move and fire at the same time. That hasn't always been the case. It's only been in the most recent patch that's been the case. So he does have to stand static, so there is micro involved here for Vortix. Now Vortix does have his dock under fire here. Could be in a bit of pressure here. Spearman going to head forward. Not really enough Spearman here for Vortix. Let's take a look at the eco though, because Vortix should be heading up to, or could potentially head up to the next stage. Has the ability to do so, but he's a bit engaged here in the front lines. He needs to take a fight here. He needs to take it well. Oh, he's actually splitting his army rather curiously. I'm not sure why that's happening. That's not a good move. I think that was a misclick because Spearman got hit for free. The Khan just about gets out of the way of those Spearmen. That could have been deadly. His army split there for a second. I'm not entirely sure why. Now the engagement does happen, and it looks like it's going to be a better fight for Vortix, possibly. We'll need to have a look. It comes down to the micro CC. That Spearman is being pulled back because it's weak. It re-engages, and Spearman looking to do some good damage here for Vortix. I think he does get the better of the fight, but it's too close to tell at this point. The Khan just being annoying in the background. Khan snipes out one of the Spearmen. I think Vortix has the defender's advantage. Pulls one more Spearman. Yeah, Vortix does win that fight, and he'll be going up to the next stage as well. Chinese looking to outpost it. That's actually really strong by Beastie. That could well deny a lot of fishing economy, but that's if it goes up. The outpost building time has been nerfed in the most recent patch, and so those villagers do head back home. That has been denied. The Spearman's still constantly being pulled here for Beastie. Look at what Beastie does. We see this more and more on this map. The boar has been aggroed, and now Vortix has to head back home. That gives the ability for Beastie to head back home himself and just retreat and recover. The boar does get deer aggroed now. It must be deer stones that it's going up with. It is indeed. It's actually rushing it up quite heavily by 11 villagers. And Imperial Academy going down for Beast. Now this is what we talked about. Going to the feudal age is so important because now Vortix has that lead time. He can instantly queue up the light junks, and that's what he does. He's going to get the light junks out quicker. But it does look like Beastie's going to commit to a second dock. That is certainly a good play to do if you're delayed in the feudal age compared to your opponent. What you'll want to do is double down and try and get a second dock so you can actually double produce quicker. And what will be super interesting is I'm not entirely sure, but can an Imperial official supervise a dock? Possibly. And Vortix going to be trying to siege that down. If you can siege that down before a junk comes out, that'd be ideal. Getting it a second dock himself. But look, you see, Beastie can't afford the second one. Will be getting a junk out. And does afford the second one now. So Beastie getting his junk out. Yep, pun intended. And now the Spearmen there going to engage. Just like Beastie's looking strong here because there aren't enough Spearmen here really to engage. And there will be two junks coming out. The light junk does come out for Vortix though. So we'll be able to snipe one or two villagers. Oh, he might actually be able to take out the dock. The dock is on fire. And I think Vortix just commits. I think he just commits to taking out the dock. There's no villagers on hand to repair. Yeah, Vortix is doing just that. He's going to take casualties, but the dock does go down. That is a huge moment in this game because it means that there's going to be two docks. Holy moly! He's committing to a third dock. Vortix very keen on winning this water fight. And there are two junks coming out for the Chinese versus the two light junks. They're both focusing on the fishing economy. The issue is the Beastie might be outnumbered here. There are three junks here out now. So Vortix getting his junk out as well. He's going to push us back. Beastie heading towards his dock. He only has one dock, so he only can produce one at a time. Junk. The junks are at each other. 3 versus 3. But that might change very quickly because we can see production. The problem for the Mongols at the moment, he doesn't have... Oh, he has actually been able to queue, yeah. He's queuing up from 2 of the docks, not the third. Not able to afford it just yet. You see, Vortix spending every resource he has. He's going to try and win this fight, and if he can, that'd be incredibly strong. Look at this. Beastie's fishing economy is idle. That is really significant. More junks added to the mix. Look at Vortix microing his junk back. He's going to bring that one back home to heal. And this is good pressure. It looks like Vortix might win this fight on the waters. Not a lot else happening on the land. Let's just take a double check on that. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be much happening. It's mostly on the waters at the moment. On the map Kawasan. What a fantastic map. And now Vortix can focus on the fishing. And it's going to take a lot of them out. And that's the problem for Beastie. He doesn't have a presence on the right side. The Khan rises from the ashes, joining the fight for the Mongols. And now Vortix is going to have a fantastic economy. Has 3 docks to be able to produce fishing ships off. I mean, he's got a lot of fishing ships anyway. Maybe even considering to dock on the other pond. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Vortix is going to have a great economy here, especially on the food count. Now, back at home, Beastie does have the ability to transition to land economy. Going up to the castle age, though. That is very significant. Vortix is on his way up as well, though, so the time is not going to be all that different. And so we saw the big difference that early feudal age time does. And also having the presence of mind to get those extra docks. Going up with a step redoubt, as anticipated. Well, that's a lot of villages. Going up with 24 villages. This is what it is. This is what it's all about. He knows that his opponent still has one dock. That is still a threat, and it is very difficult to take out the dock with these light junks. And so, you know, he's recognizing Vortex here. There's a reason why he's going up with 24 villages, because he needs that lead time on the castle age. It's certainly worth it to have that relatively quote-unquote inefficient building of the landmark to be able to get that age up time a bit quicker, because the moment that he can get those castle age units onto that pond, the better. He's struggling for the gold there. It won't be struggling for too long, because this landmark is actually an absolute beast for gold. It increases the amount of gold drop off by 50%. So there's 15 villagers there already. That's going to be another extra 7.5 on gold effectively. And I don't think Beastie can commit on water, especially with 3 docks there. It does get up to castle age with the astronomical clock tower. Vortex now getting wheelbarrow. Quite a bit of stone mine there. Not quite enough for a second town centre, so it's not... Actually, he's already got a second town centre. Holy smokes, he's gone for second town centre. I didn't quite notice that. Let's take a look at the village count. 47 for Vortex, 43 for Beastie. Get the feeling that Vortex's economy. Look at the food he's coming in with. It's insane. I mean, Beastie not doing too badly on the food income per minute. That's actually rather curious. I'm pretty surprised by that. Look at the fishing. Very surprised that the income per minute is not better for Vortex though. It's probably because he's actually got nothing else on food, whereas of course Beastie does have quite a few villagers on the sheep. But once that runs out, that'll be a hard transition to farming economy. 2 lancers do get in for Vortex, gets a nice villager kill, maybe even a second. It decides to head back, doesn't want to get shot by the hand cannon emplacements in the town centre. Vortex heading back with his lancers, keeps the Khan alive. The veteran Khan now is firing whilst maneuvering. Or demo ship, explosive junk, takes out 4 of them. Actually 2 of them, but 2 of them are very low health. We look back at just the right time. This dock is still up and running, takes a long time for it to be taken down. And I suspect it's going to be mostly a land transition. We can see Vortex now transitioning to a second town centre. 53 villages for Vortex, 49. Beastie, we hear the chimes of a wololo. It is on the west side, it is for Vortex. I mean, that shaman will be taken down. It does have it in his grasp. Looking to get sacred sight, not happening. The dock is on fire here, but he's looking to try and squeeze out a war junk. Will it come out in time? I suspect it will. Only 6 seconds. Oh, this is a problem for Vortex. I'm not sure what's happening here. He's not produced any military on the field here, on the waters. That's a problem. Because that war junk is going to cause a lot of problems, and that's going to delay Vortex. He's going to lose a lot of fishing ships. I think Vortex doesn't recognize this, doesn't get war junks of his own. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, this is a huge problem. He's going to be queuing up a war junk, but you just feel like he's a little bit greedy there by Vortex. Not to get a war junk earlier to secure that position, and that greed is going to be punished there. We're probably looking to get one of the relics in. Scout not doing enough damage. Lancers do start to head forward for Beast, trying to get some villager kills on the wood line. The 2 town centers does take care of that, and now we do see a monk coming up for the Chinese for Beastie, picking up that relic, and that dock is still alive. Village coming out to repair. Great play by Beastie. Look at this. The fishing economy completely gone by Vortex. A little bit of an oversight by his high standards. We'll be getting a war junk himself. He's not queuing up war junks in the other town centers. He can't afford it. He's struggling on the gold. Struggling on the gold majorly. 17 villages gold and is still struggling. That tells you something about the stage of the game and the units is producing. Very gold hungry. Going for barracks. Maybe looking to get some spearmen on the field. Possibly transition to man-at-arms. I suspect it'll be spearmen and won't be able to afford the man-at-arms just yet. Warjunk does come out and actually taking a decent fight here. Beastie might be losing this. Warjunk is not necessarily paying attention. I think the Khan has been killed. Walls coming out for Beastie, looking to be denied by 2 lancers, but plenty of spearmen on hand. The archery range transition, maybe for crossbows, but gold is going to be becoming an issue here for the Mongols. He needs to transition to another gold pile. Maybe this one further forward is more exposed. We'll need to get some static defenses, you feel, for some outposts there. Let's take a look at the waters. I'm sure Vortex will win it eventually, but he lost a lot of fishing economy. That's a lot of wood economy he lost. The war junk should be looking to take this out, but at any moment we could see a demolition ship or an explosive junk for the Chinese. On the south, Shaman being attacked by 2 wolves, might not be able to make it back home and safe. Lancers chasing. or being chased rather, by the spearmen. Just get the feeling the beastie might need to transition to farms soon. That would be quite heavy on the wood economy. Going up with the Barbican of the Sun for some static defenses. I think this is more in terms of getting some defenses rather than actually necessarily activating the Song Dynasty. But the Song Dynasty will be activated, and so the villager count will start to rise even further. Spearmen pushing away the lancers. I think it might be archers on the menu for the Mongols. But it's actually going to be crossbows, and the crossbows do decent damage against spearmen as well. The decent base damage, especially the French arbaletier, but of course we're not dealing with that today. It's going to be the Mongols' crossbows. Does have 2 fishing ships on this dock here on the right side as well. Has control of that area. Looks like a monk here for the Chinese trying to pick up a relic. The relic has already been taken, my friend. There's no relic for you. Rather, there's death by the hands of the Mongol lancers. And, the lancers do get taken down. Spearmen, crossbows, the army of composition for Vortex. The walls go up. The new Khan rises. I'm surprised that Beastie's not actually getting the walls on the other side of the sacred site. But it is what it is. Maybe looking to expand that wall later on in the game once he feels a bit reassured. But beastyqt, not fully walled up just yet, is working on it. The Mongols looking to try and deny that if you can. No villagers there close. Villagers being sent forward now, I think. Yep. The villager pull is happening. Will he be able to deny that? I'm not so sure. The Chinese villagers build very fast. No, indeed, he's not going to be able to deny that. But he might be able to try and break through. Army going around on the right side. Spearmen versus and lancers. Overall, let's take a look at the villager count, because Beastie buying himself some time. 71 villagers versus 74 now. A lot of that will be fishing economy. And yeah, looks like Vortex doesn't want to be bitten twice. He recognizes he needs some military presence on the water on that left pond to secure that fishing economy. He's putting on the pressure now. Looks like Vortex is smelling blood. He's committing to the castle age. He doesn't want the Chinese to turtle up here, and the walls do offer a measure of opportunity for that for Beastie. Going to villagers and gold, that could be pressured relatively soon. Does Beastie have another goal to turn to? Not really. That is a big problem. That is a big problem for Beastie. If he loses this gold vein, he'll lose access to gold unless he goes further out on a field, which he will be looking to do so. Maybe looking to get the gold vein there. We'll need to get some static defenses. Does hide the villagers on the other side of the wall. And he keeps his army close by. Trebuchets being built. Outposts being built. Here comes the Mongols' outpost rush. Well, not rush, but as in the stabilization with the outposts with the military in behind. Yep, the villagers do go towards that external gold vein. Again, it's relatively exposed. If Vortex scouts that, that could be a key bit of detail there. Let's take a look at the relic count, because it is 2 for Vortex at the moment. Oh, spearmen do rush in, looking to try and snipe down the traction trebuchet. There is a nest of bees. That's going to be an issue. The nest of bees needs to be taken care of. Going to do a lot of damage. Let's take a look. You see the HP fall on those infantry really fast, and the spearmen going to dive in and try and take it out. It should work. We're going to be running into the Barbican of the Sun, so decent fight there for Beastie, but he's lacking the army here. The army numbers are starting to dwindle. The traction trebuchet does go down. There is an outpost there adding into the fight, and Beastie taking a bad fight overall, but he felt like he needed to do something. Khan has been killed, but now Vortex is going to have an uncontested fight here. It does have a lot of army. What's going on here? A couple of lancers, again trying to get some raiding damage, but not all that much damage being done. And the villagers are still there, going to be able to build out some more outposts, and that's exactly what they go towards doing, building outposts on the stone, on the gold rather. And now they're going to be getting some springboards on the field. The good thing is for the Chinese, the astronomical clock tower does produce siege engines with 50% extra health. Those are going to be extra tanky. Sacred site being captured on the right side. Well, actually it wasn't the intention. He was actually looking to pick up the relic, but Beastie be aware of that. I don't think there's much that Beastie can do to deny that, and he's off the gold again. And that is a significant problem. beastyqt running out of gold. Again, Lancer is trying to get some value on the wood line. But there is the farming transition. Going up with granaries. Plenty of farms. And we talked about it. We talked about how Beastie would need that farming transition. It's probably coming at the worst possible time, because he's going to need the wood for siege, and he's not going to be able to afford it now. And that farming transition is going to hurt. Whereas Vortex can just focus on the deep water fish, and that's going to be part of the key aspects of winning this game potentially. Vortex, again, getting many outposts. And it's going to be suffocating Beastie's Chinese. Getting 3 trebuchets with springalds. The siege play is now in action. 2 relics in for Beastie, so there will be some measure of gold income, but you just feel it's not going to be enough. And Vortex has a huge amount of map control. He's going to be trying to hide some of these villages, getting a gate, maybe looking to cycle around to this gold. He needs it. But look at this. The presence of mind for Vortex to just peel away a Lancer, just to keep an eye on where the gold might be, to see where the gold might be being taken from. beastyqt with the presence of mind to try and get a keep up, to try and protect that gold vein, but you just feel like it might be a bit too late because Beastie only has 500 gold, and now this Barbican of the Sun, one of the key static defenses, will be going down. The Khan rising from the ashes as well. The Spearman heading right into the heart of the base, going to be taking out some of the production buildings. With that Barbican of the Sun taken down, the 3 traction trebuchets probably going to start focusing on the astronomical clock tower. Things looking bleak for Beastie. The keep does go up. The Lancer does get taken down, and further static defenses in the form of outposts being put on that gold. That gold vein is going to be maybe the lifeline for Beastie, but you just get the feeling that Vortix is really starting to pile on the pressure. The astronomical clock tower is going to be taken down. That's only going to leave 2 landmarks left, the Imperial Academy and the town centre. Now the Vortix pushing forward is at population cap, 95 military, 41 for Beastie. I think even Beastie's ability to defend, with his ability to defend, how good it is, I'm not sure he's going to have enough here. Springalds in defense, the traction trebuchets probably can't be stopped here. Beastie needs an answer to the traction trebuchets. It doesn't really have one, not with the outposts with Springold emplacements, not with the Springalds involved in the front lines, not with the crossbows in front as well. And slowly but surely, Vortix looking to seal the deal, looking to close this game out, and the Imperial Academy is under siege from the traction trebuchets. 5 villagers again building further forward outposts. Vortix not rushing in, he's not diving in, he's being patient here. There's the defense arrow used by the Khan. Slowly but surely, Vortix feels like he's in control of the game. Gold income pretty strong here for Beastie, but not able to really get a steamrolling army here. 86 on the field for Vortix rather, only 15 for Beastie, and now with the Imperial Academy almost taken down, that's going to be a problem. There is no real way to flank this as well. It could maybe try and rush with villagers, but the villagers will get sniped by the Springold emplacement towers. That's a problem for Beastie, that is for sure. Mill's on fire, Imperial Academy's on fire, that will be going down very soon, and that will only leave the primary town centre. Primary landmark, but Vortix needs to be careful not to dive in too much. He's actually switched to man-at-arms, which is going to be nice. There is veteran Juganu there out for Beastie. He's going to be fighting with villagers. Holy smokes. Yep, definitely against the pressure here. And Beastie putting some villagers to try and take out some of the Springolds. Big trebuchets not firing on the primary town centre, actually going for the village. And that's such a key bit of detail. The village actually takes a lot of population space, because it increases the population space by 40 for the Chinese. You lose one of those, it can be devastating. Doesn't have the population anyway, so losing that village won't be too bad for him at the moment. Problem for him is that he's under siege and doesn't have any way to defend this. And the 3 tractor trebuchets now focusing their attention on the primary town centre, and Beastie needs an answer and needs it fast. Has the farming economy set up, but doesn't have the production capabilities as he would want. He's going for horsemen, and now 2 sacred sites for Vortix. There's no way Beastie can come back from this, you feel. 24 minutes on the clock, he's under pressure, has got the sacred site timer activated, and slowly but surely, slowly but methodically, Vortix pushing forward with the outposts. Getting one right in front of the town centre. And villagers being pulled, maybe look to try and take down the traction trebuchets. You just feel there's not enough there. There's the defense arrow for the Mongols by the Khan. And the villager pull does come out. They can try and take out some of the traction trebuchets, but the Springold emplacements mean the villagers will go down, will weaken the economy again for BC. It does have textiles, but that's only going to help you so much with the amount of army on the field with spearmen and crossbows, and even a man-at-arms in there in the mix. And the traction trebuchets stay alive. Primary town centre on fire. beastyqt hanging on for dear life. As dwindling wood reserves, is not going to be able to keep up the repairs for too long. There you can see insufficient wood, and the town centre is under siege majorly. Game number 1, Vortix playing as the Mongols. We'll be taking out the Chinese for beastyqt. It's just a matter of time, just a formality now, and with the 2 trebuchets. I mean, 2 trebuchets did get taken out actually, surprisingly enough, but they'll just be replaced as quickly as they were taken down, and I think beastyqt just holding on for dear life here. Horseman going to try and dive the trebuchets, but it's just not going to be enough, you feel. It's going to be a matter of time. Veteran, or just regular crossbows, of course, coming out here. And Vortix just being patient. He won't want to dive in too quickly. We'll seal the deal. Plenty of economy behind this. Keep going on the forward position for beastyqt. Last ditch effort to secure some map control, but look at the army coming forward. Vortix has 2 trebuchets. Lancers come, veteran horseman, spearman. He wants to seal the deal. He wants to take the game out. He probably will very soon. That keep just trying to offer some map control, but can't keep the reinforcements from coming. 2 trebuchets will take that out quickly. Behind this, the Lancers have approached. Crossbows in behind as well. Couple of Lancers for the Chinese trying to dive the trebuchets. Doesn't make it. There are too many crossbows. And there we are. beastyqt knows his beat. He taps out in this game. Vortix taking the win. The Mongols proving their power on Kawasan against the Chinese. Hope you guys enjoyed this castle game. And if you did, do give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, take care. See you next time. If you're watching on Twitch, stick around. We're casting some more games. Take care and see you next time.